Hey folks, Neil Beasley. Plenty to talk about this week in Texas high school basketball. Let's get you warmed up. We've got some terrific matchups in the UIL and private school ranks. Let's take a look at some key matchups in the lineup. The game of the week comes from 4A. Number 1, Kimball, hosting number 3, Carter at Sprague Fieldhouse this Friday night. The Cowboys' defense has been smothering. They haven't given up more than 51 points in a game in their last 9 victories. Marion Hunter and Terrell Jackson have led the way for Carter, but it's their in-your-face defense that could give Kimball fits. On the other side, Nick Smith is 8 wins away from career victory number 400, and he's hoping a big W over Carter will get him that much closer to that milestone. Kimball dropped down to 4A after the past realignment, and they're a huge favorite for a trip to San Antonio. Both of these teams have depth and love to run up and down the court, so head out to Sprague if you want to be a part of some great atmosphere for a hoops game this Friday. In the SPC, there's a huge game going on at St. Mark's as the Lions host Green Hill in a battle between 2 of the top 5 teams in the state. St. Mark's is led by sharpshooter Luke Laskowski, the St. Louis commit, and Dawson Batee, who's the son of former NBA and Texas Tech star Tony Batee. The Lions were 17-4 going into this week and had a great showing at the DISD Holiday Invitational. Green Hill is led by junior Jackson Thompson, who scores just under 20 a game. The Hornets only have 2 losses this year and have developed quite the bullseye on their backs in SPC play. With a lot of attention being given to Thompson, look for Dylan Watt to play a big role in Green Hill's offensive scheme. And in case you've slept on the former state champions from Duncanville, it's time to wake up. The Panthers have played a national schedule in the non-district, and it's helped them immensely in 11-6A play. Kayden Bug Edwards and Cameron Smith are top-notch athletes, and Duncanville is using their national experience to wreak havoc in district play. They'll host a tough Waxahachie team this Friday who should test the Panthers' talent.
The warm-up is presented by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
At Cricket, get free Samsung Galaxy phones.
Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Whataburger, just like you like it. And by Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
We caught up to a big-time athlete from the Metroplex in this week's Recruiting Trail.
Kayden Edwards, shooting guard, Duncanville High School. In a college program, I want to look for a coaching staff who's going to not be afraid to, get on to me, who's going to prepare me in the most best way possible to get to the next level, which is the NBA, and just really like a family, a bond of coaches I can come to about really anything other than basketball, just coaches who are going to get me prepared to be like a better man in life. I want to fit any way possible. I want to help any way possible. Whatever coach asks me to do, I'm going to do it. They really thrive well in the transition part of their offense and stuff like that. So that's where I really can thrive. And I shoot the ball well at a high level. So I really feel like that's where I could fit in the most. On the court, I'm a leader. I'm a winner. Shoot the ball at a high level, score on all 3 levels, play defense. Got to work on that rebounding part. Really being a vocal leader, because when we graduated our 8 seniors at Duncanville, that leader role was like kind of thrown onto me. So I'm definitely still learning and stuff like that. Off the court, I get my work done, helpful in the community. I take a big part in the Fort Worth community, growing up in Fort Worth, stuff like that. And I'm just real, parents taught me how to be respectful. I kind of interact with the crowd a whole lot. Say I do something very good, I'll get the crowd going. Before I graduate, the main goal is a state championship. I do want to get a bobblehead was a real important accomplishment for me. Seeing Ron Holland and Anthony Black get theirs, it's always been a big accomplishment that I've wanted to accomplish. State championship, best score in Duncanville history, and to just leave Duncanville knowing that I've won a state championship, like being a big part of it. I've already like won state and 2 national championships, and I've helped a little, but I want to be a part of one where I've like been the dude there. So the legacy that I want to leave, of course, I want to be the best scorer to ever come through Duncanville. One of the best scorers in Texas, in the nation. But that like leader role is definitely something that I want to leave, like be a part of. All the great leaders that came through Duncanville, I just really want to be a part of that, because everybody knows I can score and put the ball in the hole, but do they know that like I can lead, I can do other stuff when the shot isn't falling, or like just, or say I'm in foul trouble, I'm on the bench. What can I like always do things to get better, always do things to just like just win. Like I said in the beginning, I'm a winner, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. So really just anything.
The warm-up is presented by Cricket. Smile, you're on Cricket.
At Cricket, get free Samsung Galaxy phones.
Inside High School Sports is brought to you by Kubota, the #1 selling compact tractor in Texas. For details, visit gokubota.com. Kubota, together we do more.
Our Ward Fasold caught up with Lake Highlands head coach Joe Duffield to see if his Wildcats are primed for another state title run in this week's Media Day segment.
All right, it is Media Day, and we are talking with Lake Highlands head coach Joe Duffield. And Coach, I can't see your hands, but I know there's a state ring on there somewhere, so keep them down there. It's been 2 years, though, but you guys are back on top, at least of your district, and you're playing really good. Talk about what has been so successful for you this year with this year's squad.
Yeah, I just really like our team this year. Our kids have been really bought in to just kind of the daily process, coming in every day with a great attitude, trying to get better. We have kind of a really good mix of some experienced players, some senior leadership, and then we have some really talented young players as well. A couple freshmen on the varsity, a couple other juniors that have had some experience but are doing really well for us. So it's just kind of a really good mix. And like I said, their attitude and their buy-in to the daily process has been great.
You know, and your district is it's kind of top heavy there. You look at your team, you just finished beating Richardson. By the time this aired, you have already played Pierce, and Jesuits got a solid squad with Caleb Steger out there. Talk about the top end of this district and how difficult it's going to be to kind of navigate and stay on top there.
Yeah, I mean, for my whole tenure at Lake Highlands, our district basketball-wise has always been very, very strong. I mean, you go back to, Richardson in the early days with Keaton Wallace, and we had Duncanville there for a little while, and they were really good. We had Skyline with Marcus Garrett, and then, lately Kayden Wallace, Rylan Griffin, Trey Johnson. I mean, you just go down the list, and our district traditionally has been very, very strong. We have great coaches, great players, and this year is no different. I think you have probably 5 or 6 teams that could all beat anybody on any given night, and you have to be prepared. The coaches do a really good job, and it's fun. Night in and night out, it's a battle, and you have to be ready to go.
Yeah, as we talk, you guys are sitting at top there at 4-0, looking like a playoff squad. But I'm interested in talking about how the playoffs are now different with the Division I and Division II, and maybe how you've kind of navigated. I know you can't look that far ahead. I hate putting this on you because you'd be like, hey, it's one game at a time. Don't talk to me about that. But when it comes to playoff time, granted, you're still going to get a home game off the bat. I believe they're doing home games right off the bat, but trying to, with no regional tournament, with one less game, kind of talk about the significance of how it's changed and maybe how it helps, how it changes the way you prepare.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think in the grand scheme of things, the daily preparation and the daily process doesn't really change. I think as you start projecting and looking at potential playoff opponents, as you start looking at kind of the road, for us, we have the biggest enrollment in 7-6A, so we know we're going to be big school. And it definitely changes the landscape. I mean, to me, the biggest change is if you are going to be a district champion, and let's say you're a 1 seed in the old way of doing things, you were going to play the 4th place team from the other district. Now and kind of the scenario we're looking at with our bye district, we could finish first or second and play the first or second team from the other district. So, that makes the first round tougher. It changes the landscape a little bit on the road you're going. So we're not doing too much different. We definitely have a big spreadsheet with everybody's enrollment, and we kind of have an idea or a picture of who might be there so we can kind of be paying attention. But we're just more focused on the day-to-day and the next game. And, it's different. I don't know yet if I'm a fan of it or not. I kind of like the traditional, 128 teams. You got to win 7 games and everybody plays everybody. I would also love the thought of maybe reseeding everybody, like doing a real traditional NCAA reseeding with this new landscape. I think that might be better for because you're going to lose some really good teams in the first 2 rounds, like some state championship type teams. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, it's been fun to watch and see that crowd that came out to that Richardson Lake Highlands game. That's always going to be the sake when you guys play each other. So we'll be chasing you down a couple more times this year. Coach, thank you very much for joining us, and I appreciate it.
Ward, thank you. We appreciate all your coverage and hope to see you at a game soon.
Hey, that'll do it for today's show. Thanks for joining us. There's some great hoops all over the Metroplex this Friday. Go check out a game if you can.